Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Yeah,
and we
Hi,
can see you.
awesome.
Nathan just stepped away for a sec,
might
I'm
have
here.
been. He's here.
and he's
Ah,
back.
Hi,
hi.
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. So I'm Dakota Charleston. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I'm filling in for one of our anchors for Channel 2 News. I just want to
Okay.
start by saying you both blew me away in this show. I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, as an actor, you may get big roles, kind of like Game of Thrones, or for you, with like Lion King, like that people just kind of know you as. But these characters, for me, watching this show, I mean, you're going to be known for playing these four different characters beautifully, and you're going to be known for playing, this detective. Just, I mean, it was amazing to see, growing up watching, uh, Lion King, and then also I'm not entirely into Broadway, but knowing your Broadway background and then transitioning into this role beautifully was just amazing to see. So just wanted to, obviously you probably hear that all day long, but it definitely was, for me, it was just, I was blown away watching just the first episode with both of you. So congratulations on a great show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
kind
much.
of you.
How are you
Thank
both
you.
doing with everything with COVID?
Good. Hanging on.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hanging
yeah.
on.
Wearing
Do the
wearing
best
my
we can do.
mask.
Yes. I feel like I need a bookshelf behind me. I guess I missed the memo.
Yeah, to be part of
that.
our, to be part of
Yeah.
our tribe. Yeah, I know.
Yes. I have some plants that'll do.
No, that works.
Yes. I had tuned in earlier and I see that you're wearing a battle scar. You said something, I don't know what exactly took place with it, but I would just start telling people that it's in character. You just came back from a crime scene.
Yeah. No, I cut myself shaving, and
Oh, okay.
it's only now, after an hour and a half, has sort of stopped. But it's left a lovely mark
Yeah,
on
you
my
were just
lip that looks, it makes
doing
it.
your detective job is all you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the Lewis Mitchell school of imagery.
That's right.
It's like makes
Yes.
you look like a tough guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, obviously this show.
We're gonna go with that.
Yeah. I mean, you looked like a tough guy before. You definitely look more so like one now. Definitely this show is reflective of what's happening today in today's society, and that was obviously John's idea of taking a historical piece and showing that history definitely repeats itself. As as a character, as a detective, if you're playing as a show and you're seeing what's happening in today's society and world, do you have any advice that you would, as your character, apply to today?
As our character.
As your character, yeah, specifically yours. I think definitely with Natalie's, you're definitely the instigator behind all of it. You don't cause it, but as your character, as Lewis, you definitely are trying to help solve and kind of end the troublesome that's taking place.
Yeah. Well, Lewis is. I don't know. I think we'd want to defund Lewis.
Yeah.
From today's point of view, he's a rather old school cop. I mean, I think he has a moral compass, and he's unlike a lot of the cops on the force in the show. He's, I think, being Jewish, being an outsider, he understands the kind of prejudice that is rampant on the force, and so he is, which is one of the reasons he's partnered with this young Chicano, a first-time detective on the force. But he's also a part of that time, a part of that generation, and where there is there's racism, and it's sadly we're still dealing with it, and that's what people are out on the streets protesting. So I think he's a guy, the character of Lewis Mitchell he's someone you would want on your side, but I think you would want someone more evolved to be honest.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you can kind of see that throughout the show that you do evolve a bit. You kind of do
He
see where
does. He
where
does.
you come from and why you're the way that you are. But I do agree. Maybe there would be a better person to to other than Lewis in today's society. But for both of you, this is a question for both of you. Is that something that drew you to the show? Was the fact that it's definitely that history is repeating itself, and kind of it is such an important show. It's showing what took place, and that's it, like you said, it's sadly it's still taking place. Is that kind of the trend and the tone that drew you to that?
It's 100% one of the main reasons that I wanted to do the job. When Nathan and I took the job the middle of last year, the social political landscape of the last handful of years, both sides of the pond had been extremely disturbing, and that John wanted to handle these themes, that our writer-creator wanted to handle these themes of polarization on the political spectrum, and this increasing inability for us to talk like sensible human beings on middle ground and try and find commonality as opposed to conflict, is something that I recognized and worried about, talking from someone in post-Brexit Britain.
Yeah.
It's this demonization of other people, this tribalism that as you gentlemen are both saying, you would think that we would be so much further along than we actually are. And why is that? And what is that about human nature when we feel threatened or angry? That why do we make these baser, more selfish choices? It's an art. So I mean, this is Magda's. John uses Magda, my character, as a metaphor of why does mankind make the choices they make. And I don't think I don't think of her as a two-dimensional evil, as sort of the devil incarnate. She's sort of like making a case that this is mankind's natural state. Maybe that's something we should. Maybe that's something we should all be thinking about right now. What is our natural state?
Yeah, and your character definitely. It's you had said that all mankind needs is to be told that they can do so, to show that they're evil. And I mean, that's definitely true with so many people in today's world. Not necessarily everyone. There's good and there's bad, but
it's not. But it's about good people doing bad things. It's like, what does it take? What does it take for a good person to do a bad thing? Like, does everybody have a price? And if they do, what is that price, and what pain or what wound does that come from? And it's Nathan was saying in a previous interview that we don't listen to each other anymore. It seems in our modern world, in our social media world, we're just spewing out a message without listening to what's coming back. And it's it's like there is motivation behind human action. So it's deconstructing it. And John's making the point, 38 led up to the Second World War. Like, do we want to keep going in this direction? Because if we do, where's that going to end us up? Yeah,
and I mean, your character shows that beautifully of what's someone's breaking point. I mean, the episode where you're walking and you're trying to pick a police officer to see who's the weakest of the bunch, or not even necessarily a police officer, just a person that Magda can penetrate and just kind of push over the edge.
That's a good reference, because that officer is scared. He's not angry. He's not a bigot. Well, I mean, maybe he is, but to my mind, the way that character who pulls that first trigger is terrified. He's absolutely terrified. Magda chooses someone who's terrified, and it's this is where the sophistication of John Logan's writing is. And it's a great cop show following Danny and Nathan around trying to solve these homicides. And so you can watch it at a purely gorgeous entertainment level. The era looks great. But if you're interested in thinking on a more philosophical lesson, it is also there in the script as well, if you want to explore it. And episode 10 is no different.
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, there's so many pieces to the show that fit beautifully together, and that, it's a testament to John's writing, and then to also the entire cast. I mean, everyone, is in it, even if they're in it just for a bit, just brings it all together so beautifully. And so it's definitely has been one of my favorite shows to watch, this year, and definitely during the quarantine times. So thanks for providing such a awesome show that's obviously has an important message behind it. And thanks for letting me interview. This is my first interview ever, so thank you so much.
Good. Well done.
Oh, well,
Thank you.
thank
Good
you.
work.
You did very well.
Thank you. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay.
Bye, Dakota. Bye.
Bye.